Hello, Paper Cut here with my daughter Margot. Here to watch Hello. Which let me tell you, trying to find his profile. If you search Hello, there are 1,000 of them. So it took a minute, but we're here to watch Hello's game against El Cid Melosita. I probably butchered that really bad. Anyway, Abbasid versus Malian. Hello is a platinum player who asked me to look at his replay, and as always, I'm just going to be watching it, give you my analysis as I go at the end, kind of stamp the 2 to 3 big things that is something he should be focusing on in his next games. Oh, hello. Margo might add some stuff too. As a reminder, I do stream on Twitch, which will be in the description of the YouTube video. Not a lot right now, but as she gets older and gets some more consistent sleep patterns, then I will. And I also do direct paid coaching. So if you watch one of my replay reviews and we're like, man, he sounds great, I would love some one-on-one time with him. I break down 5 to 6 of your games. We go over a Discord call. It's great. So if you're interested in that, message me on Discord as well. With that, let's hop into it. Let's get started. I always forgot this. Let's pause first and also go. It's important when you enter a match to think, what am I going to do? What is the opponent going to do? It's always good to have a game plan going in. As you get higher rank, your game plans will be more specific to the map, the city you're playing against, but it's okay in like the plat, low diamond level to just have one plan you're doing no matter what. So you should be entering the match going, what's my plan? And what do I think my opponent's going to do? What are the things I know my opponent is likely to do, and how does that affect my plan? Because very rarely can you just have a plan and just do it without any changes. You need to react to what your opponent's doing. And when I watch these replay reviews, the most common thing I often tell people is you're not reacting. You're not like actually responding to the information that you're gathering and what your opponent is doing. So let's see. We're going to be interested in see what your plan is. Abbasid's huge thing is, one, of course, going multiple TCs, get cheaper villagers, you let your eco pop, and you just try to live until your eco really takes off in either Castle or Imperial, and then you flood the map with units, and that's how you win. I've also seen 2 other big strategies of Abbasid. One is a fast castle into a heavy Gulam rush, and the Gulam rush usually actually doesn't kill your opponent, it just wounds them and lets you then build up an even bigger economy, and then you just hit them again. Another option is the surprise option, which is a feudal push, where you go military wing, you just drop some production, you go, and people are surprised because they're not used to Abbasid being in their face that quickly. All those are good options. As the Malians, you know that their big thing is going to be one, they're probably going to say 1 TC. Their eco, they can get a lot of good eco from passive, from cows, from pit mines. And so they're okay with actually sitting back and letting this happen, maybe going to cow boom. They might also go fast castle into Farimba, in which they need a lot of gold. Or they might do warrior scout harass, which usually a warrior scout harass is set up to then go castle. So we'll see and how you react to it. First in this opening, you should always go all your villagers on berries, have 1 build the house, and then rally to berries until you have 7 or 8. Whichever one you feel best about. Then you rally 3 to gold, and then you rally to wood. This split right here will slow you down and is unnecessary. If you're worried about having enough wood, what you do is you're going to build the gold mine, you'll build the House of Wisdom, and then when you send villagers to wood, you'll send them to these straggler trees. And then once you start aging up, you take all your villagers off of food till you have 4, go on wood, and either go second TC, or maybe you're going to production, who knows. But when you split your villagers like this too early, you're actually slowing down your age up time, which these small things can have a real difference here. Good scouting pattern, you go down the middle, break off, big circles. Your goal is to get back to your opponent's base by age up time, so you can see what he's trying to do. House Wisdom, mining camp, and then you're gonna go on the gold mine. So the big question is, what this person... Okay, so this is what you should have had from the start, but you notice you're not gonna hit 400 and 200 at the same time. Nice amount of sheep. So putting 4 on gold is, in my opinion, actually just too many. You just only need 3 on gold. And you're just about to hit this. Good, okay, that actually worked out. Maybe I'm wrong. If this works for you, works for you. But I think it could be a tad faster. You're gonna go military wing. So what military wing allows you to do is you can either use these free units that you get, 2 spearmen, 2 archers, to defend a second TC build, or to be aggressive. And there's my AC just decided to kick on, so I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit so it's not too loud. I'm gonna get closer to my mic. So let's see what you do with it. I would actually like if you be aggressive here, because Malians want you to sit back, and if you go take out like their pit mine, that's a heavy worth. So I like that you moved off of food to get onto wood here. I'm curious about why you have 5 on gold. That is a lot on gold. And I get you might say, well, I want all the upgrades. This is the question. Would you rather rush eco upgrades, or would you rather get units out? I would say you're going to get units out, because your eco upgrades aren't actually worth it until you have a lot of units on a certain resource. For example, you don't really want double broadaxe unless you're going to have 10 or more villagers on wood. You don't want pick unless you're going to have 10 or more villagers on gold. If your strategy is to harass, which you're rallying them towards the Malian player, you should have 3 on gold. 3 on gold will get you consistent gold enough to upgrade stuff. And the 2 of these villagers should be on wood, and your goal is that you're dropping another production the second you open it. Now, the production you choose would be interesting. Malians are a little unique because of their unit structure. But knowing Malians, they're probably going to want to go pro scouts. So he's not going trade here, which is important. You want to see what's the first production building he drops. If he doesn't drop a production building, since you have spearmen and archers coming out, I would suggest horsemen. Okay, you go completely off gold now into wood, which is that's like moving villagers around a little bit too much. I would have just kept 3 on gold. You're also sending out to the deer, which is, in my opinion, kind of unnecessary. This is going to take too long for you to set up, and you're wasting wood on the mill. I would just rally them to the sheep, and when these villagers finish the berries, send them over to the deer. Especially because if you're going to be aggressive, that'll actually open up the ability for you to take all the pocket resources. So you come out. This is great. He has a warrior scout here. What you need, and this is why I'm saying keep these villagers on the sheep. He can't harass that. And you're dropping a stable. Awesome. So 2 things here. First, you should be attacking the pit mine. Houses. Fuck the house. Sorry about the hiccups. Fuck the houses. Go to the pit mine. The pit mine's the thing giving him the gold. So attack the pit mine. Or rotate to this wood line and start trying to pick villagers. Let's actually check the map. What's he looking at right now? So he has literally all his villagers sitting on food right now. He's just now going out to wood and pit mine, which tells me that he probably really does want to go castle. He's probably going to build a few warrior scouts. He just wants to get the castle. But in my opinion, this is a waste. Attack the pit mine. The question is, are you going to be part of the always be making villagers club? And you're not. Okay. One of the most simplest things you can do that will immediately improve a lot of what you do is always be making villagers. I want you to think about it this way. Every time you don't make a villager when you can, that is 1 less villager you have that would be collecting resources every 30 seconds. And over the entire game, you're losing a bunch of resources by missing that villager. So it's really, really important that you have your TC on a hotkey. I keep mine on. I have like the mouse as the side buttons. I keep mine on the side, and I'm constantly. It's like a tick. I'm constantly checking my TC and queuing up 3 to 4 villagers. If you notice that you are someone who struggles to remember to put down villagers, queue up a bunch, and then let your eco catch up. But you queued up too many horsemen. You can't get a villager. You need to have villagers. Right now you're sitting on 22. He has 20, so you're actually a little bit better than him right now, which is good. But any advantage you can get really, really matters. Get the horsemen out, that's great. Send the horsemen to the front. Don't keep your horsemen back here. This would actually be a great moment to wall here, just so you don't have to worry about those, you don't have to worry about those warrior scout rates. Another thing you can do is just rally like 3 spearmen here, and then you're good. But be rallying units to the front. And this is another small thing that will really help you. Put all your production on a hotkey. I do 3. So generally what I do is that I have 1 on my scout, 2 on my units, And then as I get a larger army, if I'm splitting between the map, I'll have hotkey 1 be like the left side of the map, hotkey 2 be the right side of the map. And then I have my production either on 3 or 4, which allows you to just click it and then start building. You also get the Spearman upgrade. So far, he hasn't responded with any new units. He is attacking Warrior Scouts, which is fine. What you need to make sure you do is... Where'd your scout go? I think your scout brought back food. Is your scout with your units? Oh, okay, yeah, he is. Your scout needs to be... You should be expecting a response soon. You should actually not have your scout attack this. You should have your scout be running or doing circles around his base, basically. And the second you see him drop something, if he drops an archery range, you immediately send in horsemen. If he drops a barracks, you immediately send in more archers. So you need to be responding to what he's doing to keep his pressure up. His pressure's great. You're forcing him to react right now. You notice he's panicking by sending warrior scouts to your base. These guys can't kill you. They can't. You get 3 or 4 spearmen, you're fine. If they start attacking your villagers, just send them back to the TC, he will die. I notice you're going for stone. Are you really going for a second TC right now? I understand why you potentially want to, but you kind of have your opponent on the ropes here. He's bringing out javelin throwers right now, which is great for you. He'll take out archers, but if you get out horsemen, you're golden. You need to just focus on this pressure. You actually are in a great spot here. I would drop... knowing his javelin throwers, I would probably drop another... I would drop... Because here's what he's probably going to do. He'll probably... You're going to send him horsemen. He's going to respond with donzos, right? So you need archers. And then your comp would probably just be horsemen and archers. So you should drop 2 archery ranges, another stable, start rallying to food, and then get going. But one of the biggest mistakes we make at our levels, whether it's plat, diamond, even low conqueror, is when you have an advantage, you don't push it hard enough. This is an advantage. You're going to take out his main gold source, and he's forcing to react to you because he definitely wanted to go fast castle. And right now, he's having to make units earlier than he wanted to. Make sure you just like curse over all your villagers and just hit G to send them back to the town center. This means you get the walls up. But the key is don't over-respond to this raid. These aren't knights. Don't over-respond to this raid. These horsemen should go to the front. Keep the spearmen here. Because he's going javelin throwers. And if you have 1 horseman here, you kill those javelin throwers. You have these 3 spearmen here as well. Let's look at your resources. You have no gold. So you can't upgrade anything. At this point, you should get your food and wood upgrades. You want to drop a blacksmith and start getting your offensive upgrades. Attack damage for your horsemen would be great. Defense against range would be great. But look at your economy. You have the resources to continue making units to keep up the pressure. Instead, you go hyper defensive, which I don't understand why you're doing this. I understand this wall here, and you should put a wall over here just to stop raids. And these can stop raids as well. But you have so much wood right now. Drop production and get back out on the map. You had great pressure, and you're letting him catch back up right now. Taking the spearman over here to check this flank. That's fine. But at this point, rotate these units over here. So, I've been talking a lot. Let's actually talk about theory here. Your aggression was the correct move. Theory. Malians want to aggress on you, and they want to then age up behind that. You were aggressive onto him, forcing him to respond. How to use that advantage? You need to keep the pressure up. You don't want to let him age up, and you want to continue making it so he is struggling for resources. You kill his pit mines, he literally can't age up. Then you just keep rotating your scout around, looking for other gold mines, and making sure he doesn't get on them. He will run out of gold. You, on the other hand, your base is fine. A few warrior scouts is fine. Build a few spearmen. He'll have to go away. Don't overreact to pressure. Second, macro. How do we set up our economy? Based on what you want to do, that's where you send your villagers. You want to do early pressure? Well, all your units require more food than you would. So you need some on wood, and then more on food, and a few on gold to get upgrades. I think the second TC is going to set you behind, honestly. The second TC is going to make you slow, and you're giving him a chance to get his passive economy up, and his passive economy is like a second TC. You are stopping his passive economy by being aggressive. If you come over here, this is actually a really easy wall. Wall here, and you're protected. See, look, he can't, if he sees a few spearmen, he runs away. Like, he can't stick with it. No, Johnson! This guy had a family. Ravaged. But warrior scouts aren't insano as they used to be. You just gotta... This is good and all, but look, you're not making villagers right now, and this is actually a big deal. You have 900 food and you're making no villagers. You're sitting on 31 villagers. He has 34 because you stopped making villagers. Because you got caught up in these raids. I have something that I call the cycle. Everyone has a different phrase for it. But it's, what are the actions you are repeatedly reminding yourself to do? Me, it's villagers, eco, units, scouting. So I have like this like repeated mantra in my head. Villagers, I'm making villagers. Make villagers. How's my eco looking? I have way too much food. I need to send villagers. I need to start rallying villagers to wood. I have, because my goal is feudal aggression, so I need units. Am I making units? I need to make units. Am I making, do I know what's happening? Do I have a scout? Can I send my scout somewhere? The best players are the ones who are always making villagers, always making units until the point they want to age up. Then they stop making units and they age up. But they're always, always, always making villagers. And this pause on it, you're losing eco. Second, when you build your TC so far apart from each other, don't rally to the same spot. Your villager will then pop out here and walk all the way over here, which is a waste of walking. And you rallied them onto this tree. I don't know what this tree did to you. But yeah. So this, what you should probably do is have this TC just rally onto the berry bush, this TC rally onto the wood. And you want like 3 villagers. Well, actually, here's the issue. The second these guys finish building, you're going to have way too much on food. So you should probably split them in half, have half go on the wood, half go on berries, and then rally to berries. Have this one rally to gold. You have like 5 because you want to start potentially thinking about castle, and then have it rally to wood. A little bit more difficult, but try to rally them. He's taking your deer right now. Good catch. Very, very nice find. But look, he's not aggressing on you. He's probably aging up right now. Because that was his goal from the start, and you let him do it because you backed off. You weren't aggressive. Okay, here's the thing. You see this coming up, rush this. If you see that, if you catch him in the age up, you rush this so hard and you stop them from finishing. Look at this. He's only building with 8. If you just ran your units up and surrounded him, you push him off of this, you then attack it. It doesn't even matter if you're losing your units. The damage you do to this garrison, he loses that resource. So this is your chance to slow him down. If he destroys it and runs away, you then run back and just slow him down. Then you take units and you rally them up to here. This is what you want to do. You want to catch him in this. These units aren't going to stop you, but you're looking at this Farimba coming up and you just let him get it up. And now he's age up. And you're not close. One thing I always suggest, if you have a lot of a resource, drop a market, sell it. Because you have a lot of wood. Really, you need more production. You just can't produce the units fast enough right now. But I want to take this and basically say, you could have won this game in that 12 minutes. It's 12:38 right now. You could have won this game in those 12 minutes. If you had stayed aggressive and been able to age up, you could have rallied units forward. You could have kept the pressure on, and you could have started with resources. Let's look where his gold mines are. He has no gold over here. There's one big gold over here, and all the gold's in the center. So if you had walked up and destroyed this pit mine, just sat here, kept rallying units, if you had scouted so you knew what he was coming out with, you poked him off this wood line, you prevented him from getting this food, he would have starved, like literally starved, and you win. You build 2 units and send them over here, so if he runs up to the pit mine, you stop him. And then you've covered everything else. You actually have amazing resource protection because all the pit mines are on, all the gold mines are on your side of the map, basically. Except this one. The point being is, even if the aggression wasn't your main plan, like I'm being aggressive just because it's Malians, but I really want to do this. If you see you've created an opening for yourself, follow through on it. So what he's going to do now is that he's going to get a whole bunch of gold, and he's going to just start massing units. And now you're going to get into this, can you defend long enough game. 37 villagers, 42. And so once again, you went 2 TC, and you keep forgetting to make villagers, so you're still behind on villagers. Need a barracks. This is a nice tower if this was a campaign mission. Tower should always go on resources. Or against walls. So you can see if he's coming up here. This tower is much more worthwhile, though. You could put a tower here, because you can see if he's coming up here. But these little corner towers, I don't think they're going to do a lot for you. Really, you just need to build in a scout. Like, build 2 scouts and send them to different parts of the map. This is one of the biggest things that happen, is once we lose our scouts, or it becomes like Castle Age, we stop scouting, which is really silly. Build more scouts, send them all over the map. Send scouts to different resources, so when you see the opponent move out on those resources, you can raid them. Okay, so now he's coming in with his big push. You notice his army's huge because the Ferment gives him that opportunity. Luckily, Malians don't have gold units. They have sofas, but you can kill them with spears. So kind of the good news is, if you mass archers in feudal, you can defend against most Malian pushes in early castle until they start getting like siege or really good sofas or things like that. So this isn't like a death push. You spawn well. You you micro your horses correctly. He does have a lot of units, so you have to back up. And actually, fighting him right here, it actually might have just been better if you had sat here and forced him to come under TC fire. Use your defender's advantage. Use your TC. Also, if you had forced him to come through here, if he actually ran through, his units would have caught these bottlenecks, which would have helped you out a little bit. Gotta bring the villagers back when he comes in. Good farm transition. But you notice, you're low on villagers compared. You should have way more villagers at this point, and it's hurting your eco. He also chose a great spot to push you with your unused berries here. So you notice what he's doing. He's sitting on your resources. He's not leaving. He's trying to use his advantage. He is stealing your deer. RIP. But he's sitting here. He wants to make... Because if he moved over here... Like, really, he should have tried to come over here. He could have got more villagers here. But sitting here, he knows he's stopping your gold and he's stopping your mill. Which is really good for him. Now you put up a bunch of production, which is great. You probably get down to blacksmith, but you need to still get the upgrades. You're getting archers. We want your comp. So comp check. What's he running? He's running donzos, archers, and javelin throwers. Our comp should be either archers and horsemen or knights, or archers and gulams. Gulams slaughter everything here. He would have to get Musafadis. If he gets Musafadis, your archers would slaughter them. Horseman is also a great option. Horseman is also the plus that you can send them all over the map. Knights too. I'm always worried about knights though, because Musafadis also kill knights and Donzos kill knights. So his 2 infantry units do well against knights. Generally against Malians, I just never make knights. It's really worth it. So here's what you need to do. You hit castle, and the beauty of Abbasid is that you can start making these units immediately. The second you hit castle, you need to drop a Maginot. Like, knowing that he's pushing you, you should have been like, what? I need to get my villagers on resources so I can get a Maginot the second I age up. Because the Maginot pushes the back. And there you go. Very nice. Sorry, it's early. By early, I mean this baby didn't want to sleep last night. Good. Pulled him in, hit him with the Maginot. Perfect. Now he's being too passive. He really didn't need to run back like this. You're lucky. He overreacted to a 1-9 now. He really could have probably pushed it and killed it with just his units. But we'll take it. Now he's going to realize I can run back here. The second he sends units back there, it's going to be bad news. Bad news bears. You're losing a lot of villagers. But you're noticing, like, I want to take like a big picture look at this. You're noticing how you giving him space back in feudal has allowed him to now completely flip the game on you. It's these small decisions we make early in the game that heavily affect how the rest of the game goes. You haven't lost this game by any stretch. You be on 2TC keeps you in it. You're both castle. You could get back up there. You're starting to get with the farms up and you finding more food and gold. You're starting to get resources again. But you have to play this a lot more perfectly than you did before. I would repair the Maginot with the villager. You just need to rally a few spears over there. Or you could have just built like a tower real fast with your villagers. So you're going back in front of the fight. We gotta be rallying. Look at this. You have so many resources and you're not building units. At this point, you just need units. See, you're building out of one barracks, not the other. You're building no archers, which archers would be great here. What I do whenever I start building a lot of production, if I have like 3 as my production hotkey, I hold shift and I'll double click each type of production and that gathers them all. And then I do control 3, boom, I have all my production under one. And then when you click 3, you can click tab to cycle through the buildings, or I just click on them and then I build the units with my hotkeys. You get used to building with hotkeys, it helps you so much. Being in a fight and being able to click 3, Q, because I need spears. It's small things like that that really do pay off. You don't need to do it to win, but it makes it easier. So great, you got Gulam's out, and now I think he's a little scared, so he's running away. Pull the archers down there, nice. He's that. Okay, here's your goal in castle. Once you hit castle, this becomes securing resources. Now, actually, I'm big from the stone wall. What you need to do is get stone, or do two towers per, and you need to start securing these gold mines. These gold mines are going to become the thing that cause you to live or die in the castle age. Let's do our macro check. What are we low on? What do we not have? We need gold, we need wood, especially based on the unit comp you're doing. You need gold for gulams. Not much, but you need gold for gulams. And you need wood for archers. You're rallying to wood. You're rallying to nothing. But you notice, in combat, you lost your villager creation. You lost you were not only were villagers being killed, but you also weren't making villagers. You did finally pass him, but his passive income, let's look at the income per minute. Yeah. And here's the thing, he doesn't need that much wood because he has the Farimba, so he just needs gold. Anyway. At this point, you really need to mass gulams, archers, and get siege. My suggestion is the second you get out in Mangonel, you know your opponent's going to want to do a Springald. So you, as the Abbasid, should be trying to mass 3 or 4 Springalds, which will one-shot other Springalds, and then you mass 2 or 3 Mangonels, and then you walk out. You get a massive villagers on stone, and then as you are getting enough stone for keeps, you're dropping keeps on gold. And you're trying to kind of suffocate him off. You also know he needs pit mines, so if you know where their gold mines are near his base, you should go check those. Like, watch. You know there's a gold mine here. You should send like a 2 or 3 knights. There's a gold mine here. One of the best ways to raid, and look at that. See, he's doing this right now. Putting this outpost was nice and all, but it couldn't stop him dropping a keep right here and taking this gold away. Sucks. But that's what he is. A great way to raid Malians, especially if they're on Farimba, is just send 2 or 3 horsemen, 2 or 3 knights to the different golds, because he will be on them. If there's a pit mine there, okay, but if he's doing Farimba, he needs to have villagers on gold. So just go keep checking the gold. He's also doing counts, so he's just very gold heavy. If you can kill his gold villagers and force him to just use the passive gold from pit mines, it won't be enough. But knowing each civ's weaknesses, that helps a lot. Oh, hello there. You waking up? Good, finally getting on stone. I like grabbing the camels. You saw that he's going sofas, so you immediately put out camel riders. That's a great move. Great reaction to what he wants to do. He went Mustafatis, but you have a lot of archers. And in fact, if you want to, knowing he's going sofas and Mustafatis, start massing spearmen. Upgrade a veteran spearman. Your spears are really good. Just start massing spearmen. And then you have a front line of spearmen while your archers kill everything else he does. Especially if you get the archer upgrade, you did. Okay, your archers are super good. Good keep here to protect this gold. I would make the keep a little bit more on the corner here, so it also covers this gold mine. And protects it more front ways than kind of backwards. But let's go kill this keep. You need 2 or 3 rams, go in and kill the keep, re-secure this gold, and you have a really strong right side eco. He knows he's trying to raid you really bad, but he knows he's got to get back. He goes imp. Okay. When you see this imp, you shouldn't be scared. Once again, he doesn't have any gold units. If you just keep massing archers, your archers would still do really well against his imperial units. His outside of sofas, which that's why you want spears. And spears and castle spears will still kill elite sofas. So, and if he goes gunners, well, your archers kill gunners. I am not big about fighting under his keep like this. Keeps aren't as good as it used to be, but just sitting under this keep like this, you're kind of asking for it. Whenever you're getting raided like this as well, just rally to where the raid's happening. If you rally, you're in tier, you catch his sofas and stop his raid. You don't need to take this fight, you know what I mean? And then he comes back with the sofas and kills your Maginot. You're gonna win this fight, but you didn't need to pick this fight. This actually costs you a lot of military. When if all you had done was just drop two battery rams real fast and win in the same way with the battery rams, you would have taken out the keep as well during that fight. Instead, the keep is still up here. And this keep is stopping you from getting this gold mine and this. Awesome. Keep raiding down. Keep, you know he has. Oh, you haven't actually scouted over here. You have to assume there's probably a gold mine down there. I would just keep running down this way, because if he's on imp, you need to do some damage. You notice your camel riders are fucking right now. That's awesome. We'll just run down here. There's no way this is his only gold mine. And this is where scouting really helps. Knowing your opponent is. You send out these rams, and you don't go just kill this. This is stopping expansion later. I would just kill it real fast. And you have so much gold at this point, you could go imp. You have a market. Yeah, you have a market. Wait, oh, it's right. It's literally here. Just buy food. Actually, your issue is you're off food right now. You only have 60 on food. That's not good. At this point in castle, you want 30 on food, especially their farms. And by the time you hit imp, you want like 50 to 60 on food. And here's the thing: your farms are really good as this. You get Fertile Crescent, agriculture. If you go economic wing, Fertile Crescent, agriculture, make your farms so good. Right now you're getting, it's okay to overdo gold. You want to kind of melt these, but buy food, get imp, and take away this castle. You take away this castle, put your own castle here. You've secured 3-4 big gold mines, which is what you need when you hit Imperial. Also, this just allows him to continue raiding, which sucks. Like, he can just continuously run sofas over here and raid your eco. Okay, you're going in blind here. You don't really know what he has. You're kind of all in at this point because you decide not to go in. You're attacking with your army, and you're hoping to catch him before he can really power strike. Get his villagers on food. He has gunners. You need to get your archers ready. You have to double. What would have been better is don't throw your front line away. You just threw away your only front line. But at this point, you should just be hard rallying all units to the front. Keep sending battery rams forward. Your goal here at this point is to try to win this. But you notice he's going to come from behind, so you're on a timer. Send rams to Farimba, Mansa, Town Center, and Fort of the Huntress. And hell, maybe you could have landlocked sniped him. But you needed your archers to stay here, and your archers need to kill the gunners while your front line attacks any sofas who come kill your archers. And don't send your archers forward unless you're actually killing something. So your archers are just dying right now under TC fire for no reason. You just send your battery rams forward to kill the landmarks, and then when he runs up, bring your archers up and shoot them. Without a front line here, these sofas are going to tear through. They're not even imps. They're not even Imperial sofas. If you had your front line, you could have sent them to kill this Maginot. If you had been rallying units more consistently, you could have killed this Maginot. And actually, like, I think this landmark snipe could have worked. If you had been making units, Camel Riders and Spears would have just melted this. His only imp unit is the Musafati Gunner, which your archers kill. At this point, you're trying to go imp, but he's going to mass up an Imperial army and walk over you. Alright. So I talked a lot. Let's summarize the 2 to 3 big things you want to be thinking about. First, always be making villagers. always set up your hotkeys, get used to using your hotkeys, and make villagers, please. It will help you so much more than people realize. 2, aggression is good. When you get an advantage, follow up on it. So if you have sent units forward and you're slowing them down, keep sending units forward. You have kind of 2 options. Those 4 units from your military wing either cause you to attack more, or you go hard castle and then you mass gulaps. I would say that's your 2 big things to do if you're trying to be aggressive. But follow up your aggression. Don't be afraid to drop more production, send units in. 3, macro. Develop a cycle and try to, every 30 seconds to a minute, ask, how's my economy looking? What's my goal? Is my goal to fight in feudal? Well, I need units. What I need for units? Well, most of my units are food and wood. Okay, am I split between food and wood evenly? Oh, I have 900 food, but like 200 wood. I need to start rallying to wood. I need to get the wood economic upgrade. Double broad axe, etc. Try to avoid moving masses of villagers unless it's absolutely necessary. Like, let's say your opponent hits castle and you want to go castle real quick. Well, yeah, grab a group of wood villagers and send them to gold, and send them to food. Like, that's fine. But in general, keep your villagers where they are, which is better economically. Those 3 things I think will help you. I would suggest go overly aggressive. You'll probably still lose games because you'll mess up that aggression, but you won't get better until you do it. And being able to be decisive and aggressive will win you a lot of games. It will. And don't stop scouting. Don't stop scouting. That was 4 things, but scouting is more simpler to me. I hope that was helpful. I hope you can use that in your games, and I think it would really pay off for you. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know. And good luck on your games.